My hair doesn't want it in the live stream. In the live stream. In the live stream. What if I just say screw it one of these days and just completely screw it? And that actually doesn't look terrible. Just like, just don't say anything about it. If I just like completely destroyed my hair and did something crazy with it and then just went about the stream like it was normal, ignored anyone who asked about it. What are you talking about? Huh? What's wrong with my hair? Nothing's wrong with my hair. Everything's fine. Everything is perfect. Everything is all. It really just doesn't want to. I don't really like the swoop. It's fine. It's fine. It's a live stream. It's a live stream. And if anyone has come to expect professionalism from my live streams, then that's their fault entirely. This is live stream 25. Some people might have followed me over from TikTok where I'd done like almost 50 live streams there. At this point, if anyone's expecting professionality, that's their fault, not mine. But it is a live stream. It is a live stream. It is a live stream. And what do I want to talk about today? Somebody commented, it's not about the probability of there being a God or the universe coming into being as it is. It's about the fact that that there is a God. But it is about the probability. It's about the fact that it happened and where all the matter came from in the first place. They're just saying it doesn't matter the probability of it being caused by a God. It was caused by a God. In which case, prove it. You gotta give reason to believe that there is a God, that it can do the things you're saying, and that it did do the things you're saying. Otherwise, I got nothing. Somebody commented recently, no, I need to find this. I need to find this. Has anyone else noticed that in most of this guy's videos, he's wearing Halloween shirts underneath the flannel? At this point, this is not mistake. It is clear choice or a subconscious one influenced by the devil, as Halloween is well known for its pagan roots. First off, some of your favorite Christian holidays have some pagan intertwining in their history, so let's pump the brakes just a little bit. Second, I just like Halloween. I've always liked Halloween. I've liked Halloween even back when I was a Christian. I liked Halloween. Arguably, I liked Halloween better when I was a Christian because I believed in the supernatural stuff involved with it. And now that I don't believe in any of that stuff, it's kind of taken some of the magic away from the holiday. So arguably, I enjoyed it more as a Christian. And if you want to say it's satanic, it's demonic, then sure. I don't believe in any of that stuff, but whatever. I don't think we need comments like that, really. We don't need inappropriate chats. I always like it. I actually kind of do when I get like a new person on the channel that just dumps a bunch of comments on like a bunch of my videos. A lot of the times they're a little bit arrogant, but it's like a different perspective, I guess. More people commenting on the bat ears or the cat ears or whatever they want to call it. That I have in my videos. That's going to be demonic next. That's going to be what they say is demonic next. Actually, somebody actually pointed out the butterfly is like a symbol for Satan in one of my videos. And I don't know. It was cute because it's literally the meme of like the anime dude with the butterfly. It's like, it was literally, is this satanic? It's like, it fit perfect. If I knew how to make memes, I would have made a meme and made that joke. But like, not couldn't be done. The universe being the way it is. In my video, again, the odds of the universe coming in to being as it is, like, yeah, it's crazy. I don't know it seems like the odds of the universe coming to being and creating all this seems to be 100%. We can't demonstrate that it really could have happened any other way, as far as I can tell. And somebody said, but all of the universe and stuff increases the chances of there being a God. I don't think so. I don't think we really need that hypothesis. There is a judgment for this in Scripture, Drew. Okay. Cool. What's the judgment? What am I doing wrong? I mean, that might be a dumb question. That's absolutely a dumb question, but like, specifically, what's the judgment? I get a lot of comments on a regular basis. Somebody commented that I would get destroyed by Andrew Wilson, and I looked at the dude's page on Instagram, and he's like in charge of like the Crucible debate podcast or whatever. I'm not sure exactly sure what it is. So it's like someone who has been doing this longer than me, knows more than me, and teaches a class on debating. Yeah, he would destroy me. Most people that you can bring up would destroy me in a debate. I would argue that most people that would come to your mind, if like this person could destroy Drew, yeah, probably. If they're noteworthy enough to come to your mind, they could probably destroy me in a debate. God is good. What shampoo do you use? I just use Suave. Believe in my dreams? Well, thank you. Learn the scriptures. Well, I have. The Bible judges a lot of things. I just kind of wanted to know, like, what specifically. I mean, I can give a list of things that, like, the Bible would judge me for. I wanted to know, like, specifically what you were wanting to say. Just want your opinion. Just want your input. I value your opinion. I value the input from the chat. I do. Also, thank you for being here. We got a few people watching right now. It's greatly appreciated. God is good. God is great. Finish all the food on your plate. I mean, eating is important. I don't know if is it the static that's heating my hair? It's just like flat. It's doing this flat swoop. It is static. It's dry where I am. I might just look weird. For all that's a look. I might just look weird in this live stream. I think the more I touch it, the more static I give it. So I think I'm making it worse, actually. Whatever. Eating is important. I don't really believe God is good or great. I do. Are you an atheist? If yes, why don't you conclude that the prime cause is the most rational conclusion? I am an atheist, but I think just because we don't know how something happened doesn't mean it automatically has to have been a god. I don't know how things happen, but we have really no evidence for a god other than how else could it have happened, therefore it has to have been a god. And that doesn't work for me. That's God of the gaps. And it's not a good argument, especially because that line of thinking, like, what else could it be? It must be God, has failed us a number of times. Throughout different cultures and societies and religions throughout history, we've had different supernatural explanations for things like the sun rising and setting, or insect swarms, or the changing of seasons, or eclipses, or natural disasters. Turns out there's natural scientific explanations for these things that don't require the supernatural. So it's like this line of thinking has failed us so many times in the past. Why would we keep using it? It also just doesn't make sense. We don't know what it could possibly be, therefore I know exactly what it is. Read Romans 1. I hope all the best for you. I have read it. I'm not going to reread it right this second on stream. I guess I could. So you're appealing to ignorance. Can't we use logic to come to conclusions? I think so. Can you see my message? I don't know. What's up? I have not gotten a message from you prior to you asking if I can see your message. Why do people come to atheist forums determined to change someone's mind? This young man has clearly spent a lot of time reflecting on this already. Yeah? I don't know. I mean, I hope they don't stop coming to this forum because I like having the conversation and I like, interacting with people. But yeah, it's an interesting question. Appealing to ignorance is not even an argument. It is a logical fallacy. I agree. The only other two possibilities to a prime cause are either no cause or an infinite regressive causes. Why do you think either of these would be rational alternatives? I have no idea how the universe got here, or how it started, or all of the mechanisms that got us from point A to point B, or what came before point A. If there was anything, maybe there was, I don't know. But we can't just default to it has to have been some kind of divine supernatural cause. I agree. The universe is weird. The world is weird. Things are weird, and I don't understand how a lot of it works. But we can't keep defaulting to that. I don't know what it is, therefore I know exactly what it is. That doesn't make sense. We have never observed a material effect that has no cause, and we have never observed an actual infinite regress. So why isn't prime cause more rational? Well, we've been studying things, to be fair, within the confines of the universe. So there are certain laws and certain ways that the universe, how the universe operates. We don't know how everything worked prior, or if those same laws, what's the word I'm looking for, work there as here. We just, it's a big unknown area. And then I'm sorry if I keep defaulting to just I don't know, but that's just the answer. I don't know. You have no idea, but you can conclude there isn't a prime cause. I can't definitively conclude that, but I'm not going to land on that. I'm not going to settle for that as like the definitely what it is. I'm open to whatever. I just need evidence. I just need reason to believe. Hello. I mentioned eclipses drew and said we have scientific explanations for that, but in reality, it is simple. God obviously made that. Okay, I mean, you can slap the God sticker on whatever you want, whatever natural process. You can say, well, God did that, God did that, God did that, but if you can explain the process without saying, oh, also God did that, then you don't really need the God sticker. So you aren't atheist, you are agnostic. I'm agnostic atheist. Let's find common ground. Sure. Do you agree it would be more rational to believe in a prime mover over an infinite regress or no cause? I don't know. Because you have to understand we're talking about some kind of God, some kind of supernatural being, and we should have more evidence of something like that existing in the world, and we don't. If we had some kind of supernatural something, I would be more inclined to say, yeah, maybe it is a supernatural explanation. But if we have no evidence for the supernatural whatsoever, it's not really on my table. It could be somewhere on the table of like possible explanations, but it's not really one of my go-tos if I have no reason to believe anything supernatural even exists. Your sticker is far less likely than the obvious. I'm out, my dude. My sticker? Your sticker. The God sticker. We have scientific natural explanations for why solar eclipses happen, and you say, okay, but God did that. That's what I call the God sticker. And it doesn't, you just slap it on whatever you want without giving any actual evidence that the God did that or caused that or even exists. That's my issue with the God sticker. So you can't even agree that a prime mover is the most rational when we have observed things having a prime cause. But we have never observed something material have no cause, or to be an infinite regress. Sure. You're looking within the confines of the universe and what we have observed. A universe being created, coming into being, is not something we have observed. It's not something that we have information on. I don't know how it happened. Just add God. Why not? I'm agreeing with you. This can be kind of our common ground, Master Maverick. Is I'm agreeing with you. It's weird. I don't know how it happened. It shouldn't have happened. Things don't really make sense. But saying therefore it must be this thing that we don't have any actual evidence for doesn't work. So you agree that it is more rational, not saying it is factual, just more rational, that there is a prime cause? No, not necessarily. The universe could have been birthed from the death of a previous universe, or a series of implosions and explosions, or whatever that term is, that it'll collapse and I'm not giving good scientific terms. It does that. Or something completely different. There could be something outside the universe that is, the universe, for all we know, could be like how we see a galaxy within the universe. It could be something much smaller inside of something bigger. And then, yes, we might end up hitting an infinite regress situation, but we don't have the data. Why isn't it more rational? What is more rational? Do you know what rational means? Appealing to ignorance isn't a reason. Saying I don't know is an intellectually honest answer. If we actually just don't know, I don't like the answer either. I don't like that as an answer either. But I just don't know. Maybe it was some kind of first prime something or whatever. I just don't know. And I understand there are weird things out there that don't make sense. And it wouldn't seem rational for this to happen without a God. But as I explained, we've used that line of thinking with other things and it's failed us. So it can't be one of our go-tos.
You want to say hi?
You can kind of see her. I'm wearing a black hoodie and she's mostly white, so get my cat hair over it. It's Peanut. Who's Peanut? You know the God of Abraham, Isaac, Moses isn't the truth, so just look into the Vedic scriptures. Isn't that Hinduism? Hey man, I've been doing okay. How have you been doing? Oh, I'm sorry, Maverick, I didn't see your last comment. Forgive me. For example, solipsism could be true, meaning all this is fake. We don't know that for a fact. We rationally conclude that we do exist. Yeah, sure. Because we don't really have... It's not really falsifiable. If it is solipsism, or if this is all in our head or anything like that, brain in a vat, simulation, however you want to put it. But either way, we exist in this reality, and this is the reality that we should therefore be trying to observe. And if we wake up from this life in, another life, then we can just play the same game in that life. But this is all we got. It's one of those things. We can go to like philosophical hypotheticals of, being a brain. What if we are a brain in the vat or whatever? But do we have really reason to believe that? What's the topic here I want to help? Just talking about God and stuff. And is God real? Why? Sorry, I'm not. My brain doesn't like to read, so please forgive me if I just trip over everything. Why not say I don't know to that too? Because you don't know. I'm sorry. What? Say I don't know to what? Brain in the vat? I don't know. I don't know if we're a brain in the vat or anything like that. We just don't really... We don't have any reason to believe that we are, and it's not like falsifiable. So it's just like... It's like, maybe, sure. Where do we go with that information? If you can find I don't know. If you can find evidence that we're a brain in the vat, we can talk about that, but I don't think we found that. I was a Christian for the first, I always say 20 plus years of my life because it's early 20s, and it kind of got a little fuzzy like in the early 20s. Um, so like somewhere in there between probably 21 and 24-ish, somewhere in there. You have no reason to believe no cause and infinite regress. You have no reason to believe solipsism too, but you conclude that rational option, we do exist, but coming to God, we don't conclude. I don't know. I think, therefore, I am. I exist in some kind of something, surely. And if it turns out I don't exist, that'd be crazy. But even if I'm a brain in the vat, I still exist as that brain in the vat. And even if this is just the reality that we've been matrixed into, this is still the reality I want to study and try to learn. You include you exist, but you don't know. I'm pretty sure I exist to some extent. However, this thought pattern changes for prime cause because you still don't know, yet you stay agnostic. We just don't know how the universe got here. And I'm just, I don't know. I'm sorry my answer isn't good enough for you. And maybe that's a me thing, but I really just don't know. But I don't want to play God of the gaps and say, therefore, it has to have been something divine or supernatural. Is there like anything I can do to boost your faith? A question you have, something like that? Probably not. Yeah, probably not. I've been doing a lot of questioning and studying and stuff. Been making this content for about 2 years. Uh, I can't really think of anything. Hello. Suffocated by a kitten. Okay, different path. Is morality objective? No. I don't believe in objective morality. What I do believe is a system that humans have generally agreed on across human history. Different things that we've learned how to deal with each other, how to put up with each other, work together for the betterment of a society and the individuals in the society, including ourselves, and that overall human health, safety, happiness, well-being seems to be a good standard for that because we're all humans and we would like to be well and safe and happy, and so let's make sure we live in a society where humans are taken care of and whatnot. It's just things that we've kind of figured out that work best towards keeping us alive and well. And it's not a set solid moral system, and it does vary. There are some things that are mostly agreed upon, like murder and theft throughout the world. There will always be outliers, but yeah, that's kind of what I got. I have not watched Peanut Butter Falcon. All good. Have a great day, and may the Lord protect you. Well, thank you. Can women be loyal? I don't see why not. So you would say that abusing people for your own personal gratification is not immoral, or not always immoral. I don't think you should abuse people, as per the description I just gave. You subscribe the first religion? Yeah, probably. People like to say, like, the United States gets its morals from Christianity. Why stop there? It seems like morality is something that we figured out throughout human history as we learned how to deal with one another, and then plugged into our religions and tweaked and plugged it into this philosophical system and tweaked and played with it over time. But it does not seem like these ideas started with Christianity, or that they could not have happened without it. The description you gave implies that if abusing one person enhances overall well-being, why would that be immoral? Or would it be immoral? Or would it not be immoral? It would be wrong for the person. I'm not saying, like, when I say overall well-being, I say overall well-being of each individual. I'm not really here for like the trolley problem, you know, harming less people or like harming somebody for the greater good. I'm not really on board for that. Because I think that harming humans is bad based on this system that I think is a pretty good system that helps progress the lives and the well-being of humans. It also even makes sense if you look at it from a selfish perspective. I don't want to be robbed. You don't want to be robbed. Wouldn't it make sense if we created and or supported a society where theft is illegal so that nobody's getting robbed? It protects everyone in the society, including you. Hello. A creator exists. The question is, can we know him and how? I mean, if we can't, I disagree of just like for a fact that a creator exists. I don't know if one exists or not. I don't really have any reason to believe it does. As far as can we know him and how, I guess that's a good question. And I guess that answer will change depending on who you ask. As far as I can tell, the gods of the different, whatever god, if there is some kind of divine creator, is trying to be the hide and seek champion. Creation is a proof of a creator. I don't agree. Yeah, if you try to turn it back on, like right after it turns off, it says no. It's like, no, turn it off. We all have a creator. I mean, we all have parents, or at least we all have an egg and a sperm that we came from. I don't think creation is proof of a creator. I was waiting for it. The frame behind you is evidence someone made it. No. I mean, yes, but it doesn't connect to there being a creator. We can observe. It's the painter analogy. Every painting has a painter. Every building has a builder. But we know painters exist. And we know that they paint paintings. And we know the process by which they paint paintings. And we can observe that process. And we have no evidence of a painting coming about without that process. So like start to finish, we can see it. Universe, we can't see that. We can't see that there is some kind of divine supernatural being. We can't see them making universes. We've never seen that process being made. We're just here. And again, you're talking about things confined to Earth and what humans do and what humans can do. It's a different scale when it's the universe. So the two don't connect. One does not prove the other, I don't think. And what is it that unifies reality, makes a revelatory universe, and allows for existence? I don't know. The universe just kind of does things. I didn't get there. You didn't get me there. Sorry if I missed some of your chats. You guys are going a little fast. I'm trying to make sure I read everyone. Don't get too far behind. We have no evidence of nothing becoming something on its own either. I don't believe in things coming from nothing. You love your sins, so you reject God of the Bible. Yep, that's it. It's just a great atheist straw man. One of the many ways to just dismiss and discredit atheists so we don't actually have to listen to them or engage with them. You got yourself there by saying everything has a creator? I didn't say that. Or if I did, it was a slip. Things in the natural world that we have created, that humans have built. This phone, this laptop, this microphone, this sweater. humans made it, and we can understand those processes. Can I ask a question? Yes. Chance, predictive power. We have a prediction that awareness is fundamental, and this has stood for millennia and still stands today, i.e. hard problem of consciousness. There was one. This is why. Oh, I'm sorry. I read. You're right. This is why I believe in God. Logical inference, prime cause is logically the most rational. Probability chances are higher. We wouldn't be in the Goldilocks zone than outside of it solely by chance. Predictive power. We have a prediction that awareness is fundamental. Prediction that awareness is fundamental and that it has stood for millennia, still stands for today. Hard problem of consciousness. So consciousness is just something that the brain does. And yeah, it's one of those things that's weird and we don't fully understand it, but that doesn't mean it has to have been a god. And as far as the planet being in the Goldilocks zone is actually quite simple. The universe is huge and it's filled with a lot of stuff and it does a lot of stuff and it's got a lot of stars and a lot of planets. When you have that many planets and stars, it doesn't matter what the odds are of a planet being in the Goldilocks zone and having the right conditions for life. Because when you have that many planets, it could be 1 in a trillion. There very well might be a trillion planets. So it becomes almost inevitable. So life did evolve, happened to evolve on a planet where life could evolve. And so here we are. And that's just kind of what it is. It's not like specially created for us. Okay, good. You guys didn't move the chat too much. I'm trying to keep up with like chat while like I have to like stop it to like explain stuff like I am now, and then like try to catch back up. And like I want to read through everybody's comments, but the conversation is still going like underneath those, so I don't want to like get too far behind. So if I ever skip or whatever, please forgive me. Or if I don't answer your question, you can always just re-put it after a while. Recent scientific evidence has shown awareness does not require a species to have a brain to have awareness present, which is evident against emergent awareness and for fundamental awareness. Yeah, there are some creatures that seem to have some kind of awareness based on instinctive nervous system of sorts, and that nervous system just reacting to stimuli around it. Avoid answering what is asked you. Oh, not me. Sorry. If you don't believe in God, why are you going against him? Why do you constantly regret him? I just think the belief in a God, especially religious beliefs, are nonsense and can be quite harmful and have been quite harmful throughout human history. And I just think it's a good thing to speak out against. Biological habitation, awareness, and memory has been shown to be present in single-celled organism, i.e. I wouldn't really compare single-celled organisms to humans as far as like what it can do. I think that's two different levels of consciousness. I don't believe God created us. Exactly, either you believe or you don't, but you push back, which means you believe and want to rebel. No, that's not how it works at all. The chance was higher to be outside the Goldilocks zone than to be in it, even if we take into consideration the amount of solar systems. It doesn't matter what the chance is. If there's a trillion planets and the odds are 1 in a trillion, it's going to be one of those planets. It doesn't matter what the odds are when the universe is so huge. When Christ died on the cross and stood up again after 3 days, he thought of you still when you weren't even alive. Prove it. Okay, not too hard. That's your opinion. It should be kept to yourself. Maybe, maybe not. I think we're allowed to come online and voice our opinions and have conversations about them. Atoms have awareness. They react to other atoms when they come near them. Have you ever heard of the Planck constant? It says that atoms cannot occupy the same space. Well, sure, but we're talking about consciousness. We went from consciousness to like atoms and single-celled organisms. I don't know if an atom of gold is like, I'm an atom of gold, I want to go do this and merge with this or whatever. I don't really think it's not kind of consciousness that we're talking about. Atoms don't have awareness. Yeah, I wouldn't really call it like consciousness or awareness. Reactive stimuli, it's a different type of awareness. I don't think that's the same thing. Hi, Doom. Welcome. Just happen to see your chat. You just said that you don't believe in God, that God created us, which means you... What? You just said that you don't believe that God created us, which means you believe in God. It's not how that works. You can try to play word games, but I don't know how far it's going to get you. You even agree, but you say you don't. It's sad to see, brother. Your ignorance should not dismiss others' beliefs. I'm not outright dismissing beliefs. I'm actively sitting here for like an hour or more. It's going to be an hour or more. Usually my live streams go a little over an hour to discuss these things. I'm not dismissing these things. It's just I've been asking about it for 2 years and studying it for years before that and haven't really gotten anything good or compelling. That's kind of the issue. And have continued to see the harm caused by these beliefs that we have no good reason to believe. No, it could have been no planet in the solar system that was in the Goldilocks zone. Yeah, it could have happened by chance, but my point is to believe that probability isn't on your side. It could have been no planet in our solar system. It could have just been a planet in another solar system. And if life has occurred on a planet in another solar system, in another galaxy somewhere, they're probably having a similar conversation that we are, thinking that they're so special and something created them just to be perfect and created everything for them and that they're the only ones. We like to think that we're special, that there's something bigger, even if there might not be. The whole universe shares a consciousness. If everything is part of the same reality and shares an experience, then it's all part of the same conscious experience. I wouldn't agree with that at all. I think we're all using weird definitions of consciousness. I don't think we're all agreeing on our definitions of consciousness. You're not trying to discuss, you just want to refute, let's be honest. I've been stumped by arguments in the past, and I've fully admitted in these live streams. You can go back and watch some of the other ones if you want to. They're over an hour long and there's 24 of them, but if you want to. I've been stumped before and admitted when I'm stumped. I'm sorry if your arguments just aren't really compelling, or if they're arguments that I've heard a million times. Wouldn't it be fair to say you believe the product of something can possess something its source doesn't possess? Something without access to awareness forms something aware. Yeah, I could say that. Because we're all made up of atoms, but I don't think atoms have, like, awareness or consciousness. I'm getting a little far behind. Because then I also feel bad, because, like, sometimes I'm reading, like, things that, like, you posted after I said something, but then, like, you said that a while ago and we're moved on to something else, and, like, I want to read through every chat, but I just get far behind, and it just trails behind the conversation. When you see what you want to see, as much harm as you see, there is so much good, yet again, you let your ignorance dismiss what others believe. I think there's a lot of unnecessary harm in Christianity and other religions that we don't need, and we can get the good things that come from these religions without all the negative baggage that comes with them. It could have no planet in any solar system. The odds based on how big our universe is and the chance associated with them all aligning are slim. Not really. When you talk about an infinite universe or a seemingly infinite universe, the odds don't really matter of, like, things that could happen. Consciousness and awareness are the same thing. If I hit a rock It experiences me hitting that rock. Its reality is being struck. Those atoms actively experience it. That's not the same as human consciousness. Human awareness or human consciousness is not the same as atoms being chipped off of a rock. I definitely don't recommend it, but you've never done mushrooms, hon. I've never done mushrooms, and I wouldn't want to recommend it either. Does meaning have physical properties? I wouldn't think so. I wouldn't say so. I've been stumped by a stump. And damn, that shit hurt. You are arguing against yourself, brother. You start by saying one thing, yet finish saying the other. I get you're confused and lost. It is okay. Everyone gets there on their own. God bless you, brother. Okay. I'm arguing against you guys, but I don't... Okay. It's true that a rock is interacting and responding to an event, but consciousness and awareness are attributes of living beings, and you can't use those terms. Oh, wow, I am very behind in chat. Kind of. What evidence do you have to believe that something unaware can come from something aware? Atoms could be aware. Couldn't they, just like you think an infinite regress may occur? It just really, we have no evidence that atoms or rocks have the same awareness as us. And I don't know how many times I have to say that, but we're having weird disagreements in the definitions of awareness and consciousness. Without religion, you wouldn't have good or bad. I don't agree with that. Because as far as I can tell, humans came up with concepts of good and bad, and then humans also came up with religions and plugged some of those concepts into those religions and tweaked them a bit. And then we went forward from there. So I think we could have good and bad without religion. Okay, I'm going to scroll down to the bottom a little bit, just to like catch up. Hush, just show us your muscles. There's nothing to show. Israel or Palestine? Well, that's just a random thing to ask. I stand with the innocent people caught on either side of the conflict. Come to Christ, you would make a great apologist. That's actually how I lost my faith. I lost my faith studying to become an apologist. Are you a non-believer? Because I believe that we can be together. I am married. I'm sorry to say. And my wife is actually sitting next to me tonight. Most live streams, my wife is at work. She's actually here tonight. That's also why the live stream started a little bit early. Because I'm usually here by myself with my daughter, and I have to wait for her to like fall asleep to minimize the chances of her needing me during the live stream. Because if it's just me and my daughter starts calling to me, I'm ending the live stream. Just like, I'm like, all right, bye. You know, I got to go take care of my child, you know, because I'm a dad first. But, you know, we put our child to bed and whatnot. And I'm just like, you know what, my wife's here. So if the child's not fully asleep, my wife can take care of anything that the child might need. So good and bad are subjective. Therefore, might makes right, and there's an arbitration in what constitutes good or bad. Therefore, you cannot claim anything is good or bad. No. You joined probably after I explained my ideas on morality. It seems that humans developed this sense of right and wrong, morality, ethics throughout human history as we learned how to deal with one another and work together for the betterment of society and the betterment of the individuals within the society, including ourselves. And it seems like the overall center of these morals and ethics is overall well-being, happiness, safety of the individuals, of humans, human well-being, safety, happiness, um, health, all that good stuff. And yeah, it varies because it's not an objective system, but overall, I think that's a good system to focus on because it's just a good one to focus on. We're all humans. We should all learn to work together and cooperate and treat each other with kindness and empathy and take care of one another because that just works better for everyone involved, including the individuals. Why did I get married? Because I fell in love with someone and wanted to spend the rest of my life with them. And there's this thing called marriage where you can do that and tie the knots and connect your finances and everything and be kind of one unit. And I was for that. I'm really struggling with you understanding what I'm asking. Whatever form the universe forms something aware. Your belief implies that something unaware forms something aware. Why? Just because you don't understand how it works doesn't mean it has to have been a god. We don't know, therefore God is a god of the gaps fallacy, and it doesn't work. So your daughter is just an animal. Well, we all are, technically. Well, there's not really anything technical about it. We all are. I'll be behind it, right? My family group chat keeps going off. Do you know where marriage came from? So no marriage, no, hey, you're my mate for life, none of that ever happened without first Christianity happening. That came from religions. Can't have mates for life without religions. I can agree that religions have developed over time and have then interwoven with society and changed things in society. I can agree with that there's an influence over time. But I don't think the original idea of mate for life came from a religious idea. Or mine is yours forever and we're one unit now came from religion. Jesus said the kingdom of God is within you, so it's not out there in the darkness in the starry host, but more like quantum theory that can escape time and space and appeal to a creative will. Sure. Assuming it exists. Things that aren't something can become something different. That's not an incomprehensible concept. Non-living things can create something living and vice versa. Yeah. Do you think it is scientific to say something unaware forms something aware? It seems like that's what happened. It seems like life came from non-life. That would be like me saying that the sun gives Earth heat but doesn't have heat itself. Do you not understand my point? I understand, but you're still just trying to get out of the gaps of it. You're still just trying to say, hey, this doesn't make sense, therefore it has to have been something divine, some kind of creator. And I've been saying to you for the past almost 45 minutes, that's not how things work. That's a fallacious line of thinking. It just doesn't work that way. Hey, I'm caught up in chat. I probably skipped some. So morality is subjective, but in your definition of morality or good, you just say it's good because it's good. That's circular reason. Why must humanity prosper? Why must humanity prosper? That's a great question. Because we seem to be the most, I wouldn't say intelligent, because a lot of humans are dumb, but the most intelligent, advanced species on the planet. So we kind of put ourselves, we just kind of said, hey, I'm on top of the mountain now. The world would quite possibly be a better place if we weren't here to destroy it constantly. But we're here, and we care about ourselves, and we care about other people like us, so we keep ourselves at the top of the hill. Kind of seems like how it goes. Shame on you for thinking that your daughter is an animal. Imagine telling your daughter she came from monkeys. Well, I don't think she came from monkeys. I think humans, monkeys, and apes evolved from a common ancestor. And I'm sorry if you don't like science. Non-living things create living things, then there's a possibility of living things give birth to non-living things. Give birth, well, first off, stillborns are a thing. That's probably the closest I can get. Give birth is a weird concept. We can make non-living things. Someone made this mouse, but it's, as far as I can tell, not a thinking, living agent. So we can create and invent non-living things. But it would seem... I don't know. You use the word birth. What all would that entail? I mean, what does the word birth mean? Birth is a very specific process. The only evidence we are alive and not merely machines is our imagination. Like it or not, imagination is our only true theory of God. Who imagined the world to exist like a dream in the night? Maybe. I mean, it kind of seems like we are just kind of machines in a way. We're just kind of thinking machines. What does the word birth mean? Because I don't think they were using it in the only context that it would be used in. This birth, the birthing process is like a whole, it's a very specific process. Who made me? My parents. Do you realize how science works? Post. It is based on observational data. So example, if you haven't observed the island of Komodo, I couldn't scientifically say giant lizards don't exist there. But other people have observed it. Other people have observed different places. And places that we haven't observed, we don't really have anything on. Like no one's observed like heaven or God or anything like that. So I got nothing for you. Because observational data isn't sufficient, meaning we should not... Oh, you weren't done. I'm sorry, I may have cut you off. Because kicks is probably better for you. I don't know if the kicks are stale though. You should check the date. They've been in there for a minute. Last October? No. This October. What? They're probably healthier. But what do you want more? Do you want pizza or do you want kicks?
Chat, what do you think I should have?
Chat's having 5 different conversations right now.
Kicks or pizza?
Should my wife have kicks or pizza?
Lighten the mood a bit.
I don't know. Kicks is better for you, but I think pizza tastes better.
You're not wrong.
So will that computer mouse be alive if it was advanced AI? Well, that's the question. At what point does advanced AI be considered alive? And that's a question that's being asked. I don't really have the answer. Birth means head comes out and then cry. Yeah, it's like if you birth something not living, there's stillborns, but like that's really all I got. Or if you miscarry, you technically still birth, whatever you had. So what the intelligence says it's better, therefore it must prosper. That's a suggestive statement, just like your favorite ice cream. You got a lot to learn about philosophy and reasoning. Sure. I wouldn't really say intelligence says it's better, therefore it must prosper. We're humans. We kind of want to live. I even admitted that the world would quite possibly be a better place without us destroying it. I don't know. Do you want us to all just die? You should have a belief in the Lord Jesus Christ. That's what you should have. That wasn't an option. Drink milk. He will one day, he will see it, and he will repent. Sure. Pizza, she should have pizza and a Java slice too. So it's another slice for pizza. Somebody said milk, which would be cereal. Looks like she's going with pizza. I think I would have. I did choose pizza, actually. That's what I had for dinner. I wouldn't have minded having cereal, but I've had to stop having cereal because I can't really do dairy anymore. So I get a lactose-free milk. So where like I can still have cereal, but it's expensive. It's like a half gallon for like $5. And I go through it in like a week or two, and it's just like, that's a lot of money just to like burn through just so I can have a bowl of cereal. So like, I don't know. I don't know if I can keep justifying it. I mean, everything's expensive, I guess, but I don't know. $5 for milk. I don't even know how much. It depends on what size box I get. You know, it could be up to $10 for a box of cereal. 5 or so, I don't know. $10 to get me. And I guess $10 for a week's worth of dinner isn't awful. Probably spending more than that in other spots. Elijah, are you right about what? I'm sorry, there's just a lot of chats. I don't know what exactly you're referring to. Make sure jalapenos are on it, and remember God loves you. I don't think she likes jalapenos. They sound like they'd be good on pizza. Just eat steak and eggs. It's cheaper. Eggs aren't that cheap. Eggs. I mean, hell, eggs. It's like $5 for a dozen where I work. And I'll have like, if it was just me making eggs, I'd do like 2 or 3 eggs. So it'd probably be another like 5 days, almost a week, on a carton of eggs for $5. I don't know. I don't know if there's really a way to live cheap. I guess we would just have to settle for what's cheaper. I said the way to eliminate suffering is to pass away the human race, and bringing children into this world is cruel. I think we have better options. I think we could work towards cooperation, working together, and not killing the planet. There is a way forward that doesn't have to be so drastic as just kill all the humans. We don't have to go to that drastic measure. It's probably going to be, I would say, easiest. It would definitely be a very hard thing mentally and emotionally to do, but like practically probably be the easiest way out. But like that doesn't make it the best. It would still be better if humans continued to live, but used our position as the ones at the top of the hill to provide for those lower down on the hill, to make the world a better place for everyone, all humans, for animals, the planet itself, plants and whatnot. We could just be better. If I'm not good at a video game that I really like to play, the solution doesn't need to be, well, I guess I just can never play the video game again. I can keep playing the video game and get better at it and practice and find new ways to play the video game better. I want to know what it was specifically that challenged you out of your faith when studying apologetics. It was like 7 years of stuff, of just chipping away, of looking for evidence. I guess at the end of the day, it was really just lack of evidence. Just looking and looking and looking and finding good, compelling arguments against the arguments for a God, and seeing all of the holes in the arguments for a God, and even making this content. When I first started making this content, I was still pretty freshly an atheist. I fully expected to start making content like oh, there's no reason to believe in a God, and I expected to just get blown out of the water with amazing arguments for the existence of a God. Like I expected just I expected to be ignorant and just to walk in and be like, there's no reason to believe in a God, and be like, you're an idiot. Here's all these amazing reasons. And I've been like, wow, you're right. That's dumb on me, and I would have admitted that. But we're 2 years in, and I've really, really, really started. I mean, I'm past starting to lose hope in the idea that there could be something else. At this point, it's just like, damn. I mean, just all the arguments that I've heard is in my comments and watching debates and listening to apologists. I just look at them as like, is this the best we have? Is this really it? So I guess the lack of evidence overall at the end. I think my wife wants to present the pizza.
I've made it.
Is that personal pan pizza?
Yeah.
Is that little pepperonis in it?
Yeah, it does have pepperoni.
Like the Tostinos, the little cube pepperonis.
Well, they're not little cubes.
Are they?
No.
No? Oh, they're under the cheese.
Yeah.
Kind of. Yeah. Or like, are they just sliced, or just like chopped up pepperonis? Some under the cheese. Anyway.
Maverick, I'll save you a slice.
Alan Watts is a good philosopher you should listen to. He makes alternative viewpoints about God and religion. The best to listen to is True Nature of God. Well, I am going to write him down in my notebook. He sounds familiar. I don't know if I've ever written that down yet. I actually have. That is already written in my notebook. I have this notebook. If somebody says you should look something up, I write it down in this notebook, and I forget about it. I put it away in my cabinet, and I forget about it until the next live stream, and I feel bad, and I need to start going through these. And I keep telling myself that I need to start going through these, and I don't really have an excuse other than just ADHD forgetfulness, just out of mind, it doesn't exist, no object permanence, as to why I haven't looked through some of these. Some of them I have, but it's on the list. It's on the list. Do you like not spend money? I don't have a lot of money. I want to know what it was specifically that challenged you out of your faith when studying apologetics. It wasn't anything specific. Alan Watts is fantastic. Well, somebody else already suggested him, so clearly he's got. And I want to say I've heard his name somewhere else, so clearly he's got something going on for him. In the end, you will either be saved from your sinful nature or punished. Prove it. What do you do for a living? I run a dairy department at a local supermarket. It's pretty fun. It pays the bills, you know? What else can you ask for? How does anything come from absolutely and totally nothing? I don't believe that everything comes from nothing. Would you love to be friends with Jesus even if you could not believe he was God, but knowing him, you simply know you love him and would like to always have Jesus as your companion? I mean, Jesus as depicted in the Bible seems like a pretty okay guy. It's not really my favorite that ever was, but like he seems alright. Are you a milkman? Not too much. Well, I can't really have milk these days.
He's commenting on your working in dairy.
Yes, on working in dairy. Thank goodness I have my better head sitting next to me to where I can... She's doing my thinking for me. Yes. Milk is one of the things. Read up on Pascal's wager. I think Pascal's wager is a terrible argument. Is your wife a believer? She is not. Thoughts on Lucifer? I don't believe in him. He doesn't seem like a great character, but I also just don't believe in him. You missed the first part of what I was saying. It wouldn't. I'm sorry? All I saw from you, Sam, was that I'll either be punished or forgiven. Wouldn't let me put the whole thing in one comment. I don't think it let the rest of your comment come through, Sam. All I saw was either you'll be punished or saved or forgiven, or however you worded it. What is the non-subjective criticism to eliminating suffering that I proposed? I don't think I said that you did propose. I'm not sure what you're talking about. One bird alone has its own brain, but the flock of birds in flight seem to have one brain among them, all as if they were one creature sharing one brain that controls their flight. Not quite, it's just instincts and getting information. I did, and you read it. I'm sorry, what did I read? I'm reading a lot of things, please forgive me. If it's not too long, could you just post it again? I say the way to end suffering is to not procreate and pass away. I told you that it seems like we probably have a better way of doing that. We don't need to just kill ourselves. We can figure out better solutions. Sour milk, almond milk, coconut milk, or oat milk. So I'm a little bit new to the alternate milk thing. Like within the last few months, I've given up on milk because it just started hurting me too much. So I've been drinking this Fairlife milk, which is this lactose-free milk. Like it's milk. It's cow milk, just ultra pasteurized and stuff to remove the lactose. And so far, that hasn't been hurting me. And it's good. So I haven't really felt the need to try alternatives. Although with the money question, I might have to go to something cheaper. Question for both host and his wife. Studies show that theists are better off on many metrics such as depression, stress, divorce, and suicide, and mental health rates, etc. So bring up your child. Theist? No. My mental health was significantly worse when I was a believer, and there's a lot of people who are in the same boat as me.
Same.
And she says same. So, I don't know.
She'll grow up knowing about the faith, considering our families are very...
Yeah. Sam, I don't know if your comment's getting through. I again wouldn't let me put the whole thing in one comment was the last thing I saw from you. So I don't think it's letting your comment go through, Sam. I'm sorry. About wars. Yeah. YouTube's kind of weird if you're... I mean, I don't know what you're trying to put, and it might not be anything bad at all, but if it sounds a certain way or sounds bad, YouTube will kick it to the shadow realm. So you might try rewording it. Maybe there's a sensitive word in it that you might be able to take out that will let YouTube will let you post it. I don't know what that word would be. Sometimes YouTube banishes things that I've read some of like my held for review comments on my posts, and like I asked myself, why was this held for review? Like, what did YouTube see that was wrong with it? So I wouldn't even begin to know why YouTube doesn't like your post. I'm sure it's probably fine, but I guess it just doesn't like it. Can I do a milk review on live stream? No. That'd be a lot of money to spend on sampling different types of milk.
Mm-hmm. Milk's expensive.
Who created God? This is a good question. So if your nation legislated on my proposal, would you object? Yes. If so, then might makes right. Not necessarily. I don't think that carries. I don't think us being the most intelligent, advanced species, therefore having the most influence on Earth, carries through the might makes right argument to all other categories. I wouldn't say just umbrella across the board might makes right. How do atheists achieve solidarity if the only thread they agree on is they do not believe in God? What do they believe in that makes them proactive in anything in particular? Well, atheists. So atheism is just a lack of belief in a God. So yes, we all do agree on that point. Apart from that, we can agree on anything, or disagree on anything, or have passions on anything, or believe in whatever. There are atheists who believe in the supernatural. There are atheists who follow religions, certain religions that don't necessarily, like Buddhism, that doesn't have a god, a deity that it believes in. There are atheists who don't believe in evolution. There are atheists who are pro-life, pro-choice, Democrat, Republican, and different people can find solidarity together in those avenues and have specific things to fight for. You have better milk than me? Probably.
Making me want to go get a glass of milk, dang it.
I've been wanting cereal for like the past week, but like I don't want money. I'm trying to find cheaper things to eat. I should probably end the live stream soon. I usually go for like a little over an hour, and then end. And we're at an hour and 11 minutes, so should. Yeah. Going for an hour and 11 minutes already. Time just flies. And usually I start giving warnings at like 50 something minutes, but I've just been going. Because here's the problem. I would like these live streams to be just under an hour to give maximum time of like being able to be in a live stream and interact with people, because I love doing this, without it being like an hour video. If anyone wants to rewatch, I'm trying to worry about like rewatchability. You know, because I don't know about you, but once that thing hits an hour or like nears an hour, hey, that's a big commitment to like sit and watch through. I watch hour-long or 2-hour-long things on a pretty regular basis, but like the longer it gets, the more it's like a commitment. So I try not to make it too long, but then I'm enjoying it too much, so I always go over an hour, and then at some point I'm just like, I should probably stop. I should probably stop, but I'm having conversations. This has been a very, very active live stream, and I have thoroughly enjoyed it. I don't know how it's come across. I know I've gotten some criticisms with how I've been handling chat throughout, but I am thoroughly enjoying this, and I love the engagement. I love having these conversations. So thank you all for being in the live stream. Wait a minute. Legislation infers forced doctrine. If legislators align with my worldview, there would be nothing you can do to stop it. Therefore, might makes right. Not quite the same thing. Like I said, I don't agree that might makes a good thing. I do agree that whoever has the power, whoever holds the bigger stick, can make the rules whether you like it or not, whether it's good or not. And I don't like that that's a thing, but I agree that that's a thing. But I don't agree that that makes a good thing. If there's no objective morality, then just because you disagree with the law doesn't mean you're right or the law is right. It's all preference, which makes it arbitrary and meaningless. Not really, when I'm looking at the overall well-being of humanity. How many people are hurt or helped by this law? If it's just an overall harmful law, or even if it's a law that harms a small group of people, there's issues with it. I'm a humanist. I push for the health, well-being, safety, happiness of humans. Right? If might does not make right, then what is good? But I'm giving you an out. This is a secular worldview. I've explained my idea of morality a number of times throughout this live stream. I'm sorry if you don't agree with it. I don't really know how to help you. You don't have to. I'm not really expecting to convince you to adhere to my worldview or that my worldview is right or whatever in a single live stream, but that's just where I'm at. I should probably end the live stream soon. I also notice As we get into the live stream, other people start having conversations, and I also feel bad about breaking those conversations. Yes, he does. Creation proves evolution is wrong. No. Your explanation fails philosophical investigation. It's circular. How so? We've come up with a system of working together for the betterment of humanity. For instance, you probably don't know how to fix a car engine, but that doesn't mean you brazenly just assume some hypothesis about how it's done. You just admit you don't know. I think I may have read. I think that comment may have been someone else. Just because you think things are good and bad doesn't mean it is. I'm not saying it's just based on me. I'm saying it's an overall agreement of people. Thoughts on the Roman Empire? It existed. I don't have too many thoughts on it, honestly. Pros and cons. A perhaps less civilized era. I do think it is time for me to end the live stream, though, as much as I am enjoying it. I do these live streams usually every Tuesday night. Usually I start a little after 9:30 Central Standard Time. Obviously today I started at like 9, sometimes I'll do it earlier or later. But usually 9:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, Tuesdays, I will be live. I would like to do more live streams throughout the week. I just haven't figured out how to work that into my schedule. And I don't know if I would. So, yeah. So thank you all so much for being here. I would be happy to see you guys again in another live stream if you want to continue the conversation or whatever. I'd be happy to do that. But I can't do this forever. So thank you all for being here. It has been an amazing live stream, very active, and thank you for everyone who stopped by. Even if someone stopped by just for a second and then left, none of you owe me anything. You guys don't owe me. I'm nothing special, so the fact that anyone stopped for even a second is pretty cool. The fact that there are people who stopped and watched and interacted, liked, whatever, it's cool. I appreciate it. So thank you all for being here, and I hope you all have an amazing night.